Hello there, and welcome to this edition of Thought for the Week. It's always a pleasure to be with you, and I'm glad to be here now. We were thinking last time about one of the Lord's apostles called Philip, and the Lord got Philip to do something quite extraordinary. There he was, just going about his regular everyday life, and suddenly the Holy Spirit said to him, I want you to go on the Gaza road, and there I'm going to take you into a special encounter with a man who's very different from you. That guy turned out to be a nobleman all the way from Ethiopia, hundreds and hundreds of miles away down in East Africa. And he'd come up to Jerusalem to be at the temple, which suggests to us that actually, although he came from Ethiopia, he was Jewish. Many Jews had fanned out all over the Middle and Near East over the years, and it looks as if this guy was one such. His family, at any rate, had moved out to Ethiopia, and now this man had come back to worship. And the Holy Spirit led Philip to an encounter with him. You'll read all about it in Acts chapter 8, verse 26 and following. It really is simply fascinating. An angel of the Lord said to Philip, go south to the road, the desert road, that goes down from Jerusalem to Gaza. So he started out, and on his way he met an Ethiopian eunuch, an important official in charge of all the treasury of Candace, queen of the Ethiopians. This man had gone to Jerusalem to worship, and was now on his way home, sitting in his chariot, reading the scriptures, the Jewish scriptures, the Hebrew scriptures, specifically the prophecy of Isaiah. How fascinating. So Philip runs up to the chariot and begins to speak to the man. Well, I'm sure you're remembering it from last time what happened. It was extraordinary. The man was thoroughly born again, and Philip baptized him. It's an amazing story, all about how Philip moved beyond his social class and was empowered by the Holy Spirit to witness to this important official. But notice how unorthodox the whole thing is. Not at all what you expect, is it? Here's Philip minding his business, and all of a sudden the Holy Spirit moves him to get up, quite literally, and go down the road from Jerusalem to Gaza. It's clearly not on his program, but it was on the Lord's program. And as soon as he starts out on the road, he encounters this guy in a chariot. I mean, the whole thing is simply astonishing. But isn't it wonderful how the Lord can lead a man in that sort of way, in such a surprising, unorthodox way? We tend to be people who like the same things and the same patterns, and to do the same things over and over and over again. Regular as clockwork. No. That's not the way the Lord operates much of the time. We have to be sensitive to the Holy Spirit, to respond to him in whatever way he wants us to. Somebody once said, the famous last words of the church are these: we never did it this way before. The 7 last words of the church. Quite amusing, really. But there's something terribly sad about that. Because when the Holy Spirit speaks to us, he tends to move us out in uncomfortable directions. Are we prepared for such to happen this week? Let me leave that one with you. Bye-bye for now.